Today is November 6th, it's a Sunday. I came out to look at my Loquat tree. It's also known as a Japanese Medlar. It's currently, actually has been in this 15-gallon container for probably at least 12 years, most likely a lot more than that. Anyway, I noticed that it's extremely poor fruit setting this year. Let me see if I can squeeze in here. Yes, it looks like that if nothing is done about it, I will only have one fruit, maybe several fruits at most this year. I don't see much bee activity around this year. Usually, sometimes you see some bees, but anyway, this is the result of this bunch actually bloomed. I think maybe about 2 or 3 weeks earlier, and it's extremely poor fruit set. There's another bundle of flower that came out. These actually smell quite pleasant. It has a very mild fragrance to it, so this is a nice plant, that fragrance actually. I think I'm gonna have to help the plant along anyway. There are at least 5 bundles of flowers, and that one only had like one fruit. I don't know if the other tiny ones will form or not, but one fruit is definitely forming, and here's some other fruits. This one, I'm not sure if these are pollinated or not. They look quite dry and shriveled, and they don't seem to be growing much. So sometimes you touch it lightly or pull on it very, very lightly, they will come apart, they will fall off. That is an indication that those fruits are not being formed, they have not been pollinated. Anyway, here's another bundle of flower, and it didn't seem like it was able to pollinate, so all the flower buds and flowers, actually the flowers fell off after they opened for a few days anyway, so I'll have to help it along anyway. You can put down and use something very soft actually. I couldn't find a brush at the last minute, and I didn't want to go look for it, so anyway, what I found, and I think this will work well, it's a sliver of weed, actually just a wheatgrass or some common weed anyway. I plucked it off, and from inside the pot, actually there's some weeds growing inside the pot here. Anyway, I plucked it off, and it seems like it's extremely soft. It will do the function, same thing function as a flower brush. So what I'm going to do, the pollen is actually on the outside part here. It's a little bit taller, and you just touch it lightly, dab on it lightly, and collect all the pollen, and then you move to the interior of the flower, which is right in the center here, and just dab it carefully. Try to find the little middle. They call them stigmas. Scientifically, in biological terms, they call it stigmas. You transfer the pollen from the stamens. That's what the pollens are. They're usually the outside bundle, and then you lightly touch the center. I don't know how well I can actually film this and focus this, but anyway, you touch the center of the flower very, very carefully. Stick in the middle. Don't poke it so hard that you actually injure or damage the stigmas. And you do this with each of those flowers that you want to have a fruit. Usually loquats, if you want larger fruits, you don't want too many fruits forming actually. So what you do is, okay, you don't pollinate every single flower, every single bloom. The fewer fruit you have, the larger the fruits will be. Actually, in places like China, they actually remove most of the fruits, and they only save like 2 fruit per bundle of flower, and they become huge. The loquats actually extremely large. They're like a large giant strawberry. Actually, I've never seen loquats so large before, aside from videos that I've seen videos. But anyway, this is the 15-gallon potted loquat. Has been in there for quite a few years actually. There's some sunburn earlier, maybe like the past month or two, when it was too hot, and there is a little bit of weeds, volunteer weeds. These are actually seedlings growing out. When I have a moment, I'll remove these seedlings, or at least trim them back. Actually, I kind of like them because they do give a little bit of shade. They do shade out the trunk, so you won't get sunburned. So I don't mind, and I can also, if I cut these off, I can also use them as mulch. Actually, to cover up the soil, to keep the soil a little bit more moist. Anyway, I said, here's another bundle of flower. I don't think these are pollinated, and it's probably too late to pollinate these anyway. So, anyway, hope you learned something today about artificial pollination of loquats. Yeah, this tree there were at least 5 bundles of blooms, but not that many not much fruit formation. Anyway, have a good day, good afternoon, enjoy.